Hello students, this video is about the analysis of topic tests. What are these topic tests? We've prepared topic tests for all the topics in QA. These topic tests are designed to help you evaluate your preparation for a given topic. And therefore, once you cover the basic concepts of the topic, it is advised that you go through these topic tests. Once you give a test, every test has a video analysis for it, which gives you the solution, the analysis of the oral test, question-wise analysis as to which ones could have been attempted, which ones could have been left, the overall time that you should invest in a question. And if you do like the test and the video, there are more than 200 topic tests available on the Bodhee Prep Android app. The link for the app is in the description of the video, so download that app and get cracking on the tests. This video is about the topic time, speed, distance, specifically test number 5 in the app. Overall, the test was a moderate level of difficulty, about 6 to 7 questions. Net correct would be a good attempt. Good attempt meaning 90 to 95 percentile. And the ideal time to go through the questions and getting the 6 to 7 correct answers would be about 18 to 21 minutes. Looking at the questions. Okay. Amit and Neeraj started walking simultaneously in the same direction from a point on a circular track. The time taken by them to meet for the first time was 5 times the time they would have taken to meet for the first time had they started walking in opposite direction. If Amit was slower than Neeraj and speed of Amit was 12, what is the speed of Neeraj? Amit was Neeraj's speed is greater than Amit's speed, so option B and option C as it is go away because Amit's speed is 12 kilometers per hour. Now 5 times. So when Neeraj and Amit are moving in the same direction, the relative speed will be n minus a. When they are moving in the opposite direction, the relative speed will be n plus a. If the speeds of Neeraj and Amit are n and a respectively, it is given that the time was 5 times in the case they were moving in the same direction. The time will simply be, if the circumference of the circle is d, the time to meet when they're walking in the same direction will be d upon n minus a. And the time to meet when they're walking in the opposite direction will be d upon n plus a. This time is 5 times of this, so equal to 5 into this. So time taken to meet for the first time when they're moving in the same direction, relative speed n minus a is 5 times the time taken to meet when they are walking in the opposite direction where the relative speed will be n plus a. D and D cancel, cross multiply, n plus a is equal to 5n minus 5a. 4n is equal to 5 plus 1, 6a. The value of a is given as 12. So 4n is equal to 6 into 12. 4 3s are 12, n is 18. When they're moving in the same direction, the relative speed will be 6. 18 minus 12. When they're moving in the opposite direction, relative speed will be 18 plus 12, 13. Therefore, 5:1 ratio. This is a very easy question, direct application of the first concept of circular motion. And therefore should not again take more than maybe a minute and a half to solve. Definitely something that should be done in the exam. A boat travels 60 kilometers upstream and 100 kilometers downstream in 8 hours, 75 upstream, 175 downstream in 12 hours. Speed of the boat in still water. Let the speed of the boat be b and that of that of the stream be s kilometers per hour. So when the boat goes upstream, the upstream speed will be b minus s and the downstream speed will be b plus s. So we'll form equations while reading the question itself. A boat travels 60 kilometers upstream, distance 60, speed b minus s, and 100 downstream, 100 upon b plus s. This is done in 8 hours. So time taken to go upstream, time taken to go downstream is 8. Second case, 75 kilometers upstream. So 75 distance upon speed b minus s plus 175 downstream. So 175 distance upon b plus s speed. This is the total time which is given as 12. We have to find the value of b. So 2 equations in b and s, solve and get the answer. But what I'm doing is, I'm saying 60 kilometers downstream, upstream. 60 kilometers upstream and 100 kilometers downstream takes 8 hours. We divide the entire thing by 4, which means 15 kilometers upstream and 25 kilometers downstream should take 2 hours. Proportionally, multiply everything by 5. 75 upstream and 125 downstream should take 10 hours. But it is given in the question that 75 upstream and 175 downstream takes 12 hours. So comparing the difference, we can say D here is downstream, U here is upstream. Comparing, we can say, or subtracting, we can say 125, 170. 50 kilometers downstream takes 2 hours. 50 kilometers downstream takes 2 hours. And therefore, the downstream speed, that is V plus S, will be distance upon time, which is 25. Again, since 50 downstream takes 2 hours, multiply this by 200 downstream will take 4 hours. So if we look at it here, 60 upstream, 100 downstream, this takes 4 hours. The total is 8 hours. So here it should take the remaining 4 hours, 8 minus 4, which means 60 upstream takes 4 hours. So the upstream speed B minus S will be distance upon time 60 by 4, which is 15. Equation 1, equation 2, add the two equations. 2B is equal to 40, B is equal to 20. Speed of the boat is 20 kilometers per hour. Again, moderate level of difficulty question only because solving might take time. But if you solving this equation might take time. But if we use proportionality, this can be done almost orally. Solving time maybe 2 to 2.5 hours at most. Mohit moves with a constant speed of 3 steps per second. Sonal with a constant speed of 1 step per second on an escalator. When the escalator moves downward at a constant speed, Mohit takes 90 steps while Sonal takes 60 steps to reach the bottom from the top of the escalator. How many steps would be visible when the escalator becomes stationary? Since Mohit takes 3 steps per second and he is coming down, Mohit takes 90 steps. Time taken by Mohit to come down the escalator will be number of steps upon speed. Therefore, 30 seconds. If we look at Sonal, the speed of Sonal is 1 step per second. So, and Sonal is taking 60 steps. So, time for Sonal will be 60 steps at 1 step per second means 60 seconds. Now, the number of steps according to Mohit on the escalator will be, if the speed of the escalator is x, 90 steps Mohit took plus speed of the escalator x into time of travel, that is 30. So 90 plus 30x. In case of Sonal, the number of steps, this is for Mohit. In case of Sonal, the number of steps would be 60 steps Sonal took, 60 seconds, x speed of escalator. So this 60 into x will be the number of steps that the escalator takes. The number of steps has to be same for both cases. So 90 plus 30x is equal to 60 plus 60x. 60x. 30 is equal to 30x, x is equal to 1. Substituting the value here, the number of steps comes out to 120. Option B. Again, the fact that the speeds and not the ratio of speed is given makes the question a little easier. Similar questions were asked in an examination where the ratio of speed was given and therefore we had to take two variables. Here we can work with only one variable. Therefore, it makes the question a little easier. Attempt time about 2 minutes should be good enough for this question. Lift in a building can move upwards with a speed of 1.8 meters per second when it is empty, but the speed decreases when there are people in the lift. The decrease in upward speed decrease is directly proportional to the square root of number of people it carries. So decrease, D is the decrease, N is the number of people it carries. If the speed of the lift becomes 0.9 meters per second, If the speed goes from 1.8 to 0.9 meters per second, we can say that the decrease is 0.9 meters per second when it carries 4 people upwards, and therefore decrease will be equal to constant into root of n. Decrease is 0.9 when there are 4 people, and therefore 0.9 is equal to 2k. K comes out to 9 by 20. 9 upon 0.9 upon 2 multiplied by 9 upon 20. And therefore the decrease is nothing but 9 upon 20 into root of n. What is the maximum number of people the lift can carry upwards? Now, the maximum decrease in speed that is possible is that the speed goes from 1.8 to 0, in which case the decrease will be 1.8 meters per second. This is equal to 9 by 20 into root of n. So this becomes root of n is equal to 20 into 1.8, which is 36 upon 9, which will be 4. Root of n is equal to 4. Squaring both sides, n is equal to 4 square 16. If there are 16 people in the lift, the speed will become 0. The lift will not move upwards. So remove one of the persons, the speed becomes just greater than 0, and the lift starts to move. So maximum number of people that can be carried becomes 15. At 16, the speed is 0, the lift is not moving, so one less than that. Again, easy to moderate question because such questions with trains have been asked in previous examinations, so should be aware of this question. Solving time again, maybe about 2 minutes should be good enough. Two towns X and Y, 2160 kilometers apart, X and Y are 2160 kilometers apart. Train A starts from X for Y, 2160. Write it a little better. 2160. Train B simultaneously starts from Y towards X. Okay. Each of the train is 800 meters long. Each of the train is 800 meters long. A, B, 800, 800. When the trains meet, they take 10 seconds to cross each other. Now, if find the time taken, if the speeds of the trains are A and B, kilometers per hour, 10 seconds to cross. Kilometers per hour. The relative speed will become A plus B because they are moving in the same direction. Now, in this case, when the trains cross each other, distance will be the length of the sum of lengths of the train. That is 800 plus 800, 1600. And this is done in 10 seconds. Therefore, the relative speed would be distance upon time. 1600 upon 10 meters per second. To convert it into kilometers per hour, we multiply by 18 by 5. So this becomes the relative speed of the two trains, that is A plus B. Now, if we have to look at the question, when say find the time when the two trains meet. In this case, the starting distance between the two trains is 2160. Their relative speed A plus B is given by 1600 into 18 by 10 into 5. We can cross out 0. We can also cross out 32. So relative speed is 32 into 18 kilometers per hour. 32. And therefore time required to cover the distance by the two trains will be distance upon relative speed. By 216 can be written as 6 into 6 into 6 into 10. 32 becomes 4 8 is 2. 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. 5 times 18 becomes 6 into 3. So 6 gone. 3 twos are 6 gone. 2 threes are 6. 2 threes are 6 is also done. 2 fives are 10. So 15 by 4 hours is what will be required. Find the time taken in minutes. So for minutes, we multiply this by 60 again. 15 into 15 is 2 to 5 minutes becomes the answer. Again, trains based question, I'd say in terms of concept, not a very difficult concept. We know the distance traveled when two non-point objects cross each other. From there, we get an idea of the relative speed. And then the basic application of relative speed to find the time required to cover a distance. Should be able to solve this question in about 1.5 to 2 minutes. Easy in terms of level of difficulty. Two friends, Prakash and Arpit, started running simultaneously from a point P in the same direction along a straight track. P. Prakash, Arpit. Straight running track. The ratio speeds of Prakash and Arpit are 2:5. So the speed here is 2x, the speed here is 5x. 2 hours later, Arpit turned back and started running backwards at 1/5 of his original speed. He met Prakash at a distance of 10 kilometers from point P. What was Prakash's running speed? Now, after 2 hours, 2 hours later, if we assume that the speed of Prakash is actually 2x kilometers per hour, and that of Arpit, is 5x kilometers per hour. After 2 hours, the distance covered by Prakash will be 4x, and the distance covered by Arpit will be 10x. 4 twos are 2 twos are 4, 2 fives are 10. At this point, Ankit is turning back. Prakash is continuing. The speed of Prakash is 2x. Arpit turns back and starts running at 1/5 of his speed. Now, the distance between the Prakash and Ankit at this point is 10x minus 4x, which is 6x. This is being covered at a relative speed of 2x plus x, which is 3x. Therefore, time taken will be 6x by 3x, that is 2 hours. In these 2 hours, Prakash will cover another 4x kilometers, 2 into 2, and Ankit will cover 2x Arpit will cover 2x kilometers, 2 into x. That is how the breakup happens, and that is when Prakash will meet Ankit. Now, question is, he met Prakash at a distance of 10 kilometers from point P. Now, if we look at the distance covered by Prakash, in the first 2 are 4x kilometers, in the next 2 are 4x kilometers, and that at that point, Prakash met Arpit, and therefore distance is 8x. This is given as 10. What was the running speed? Prakash's running speed? 8x is 10. We have to find 2x, so divide by 4. 2x will be 2.5 kilometers per hour. Option B becomes the answer. Again, in terms of level of difficulty, I'd say moderate at best. The numbers were not very difficult, and therefore maybe 2.5 minutes is good enough to answer this question. Ram and Shyam run a race between points A and B 5 kilometers apart. Ram and Shyam. Ram's A and B 5 kilometers apart. Ram starts at 9 a.m. at a speed of 5 kilometers per hour. 5 kilometers per hour. So if he starts at 9 and the distance between A and B is 5 kilometers, Ram will reach B at 10 and then come back at 11. Will take 1 hour to cover A and B. From A to B and then B to A. Shyam starts at 9:45. Speed is 10 kilometers per hour. So Shyam will take half an hour to reach B from A because speed 10, distance 5. So 9 will reach here at 10:15, come back at 10:45. Shyam will win the race. At what time do Ram and Shyam first meet each other? Okay. Now, if we look at 10 o'clock, at 10 o'clock, Shyam or Ram is at point B. Where will Shyam be? Shyam started at 9:45, covers the entire distance in half an hour. So in 15 minutes, Shyam will be exactly at the center. Ram reaches B, is standing here. At 10 o'clock, Shyam is exactly at the center. So distance between Ram and Shyam at this point is 2.5 kilometers. Shyam is moving towards B. Ram has started to move towards A. So the relative speed will be 10 plus 5. And therefore, time taken to meet will be distance 2.5 upon relative speed 15. This will be in hours, kilometers upon kilometers per hour. So multiply by 60 for minutes. 2.5 on 15 into 60 minutes. 15 4 are 60, 10. This is after 10 o'clock. So when they meet for the first time, the time would be 10 a.m. Again, since the first meeting was to be found out, I'd say uh, easy to moderate level of difficulty at best. Solving time or 2.5 minutes should be good enough. Point P lies between A and B such that length of BP is thrice of AP. If this is X, this is 3X in length. Car 1 starts from A, move towards B. Simultaneously, car 2 starts from B, move towards A, same time. Car 2 reaches P 1 hour after car 1 reaches P. Speed of car 2 is half that of car 1. Then the time in minutes taken by car 1 in reaching P from A is speed of car 2 is half that of, so let the distance here be x kilometers, 3x kilometers. Let the speed of car 1 be 2y kilometers per hour. Therefore, car 2 will be y kilometers per hour. Speed of car 2 is half that of car 1. So time taken by car 1 to reach P will be x upon 2y. Time taken by car 2 to reach P will be 3x upon y. It is given that car 2 reaches P 1 hour after car 1. So car 2 will take 1 hour more than car 1. So adding 1 hour to car 1's time will give us car 2's time. So this becomes x by 3x by y minus x by 2y is equal to 1. Taking LCM, 2y 6x minus x is equal to 1, which means 5x by 2y is equal to 1, which can be written as x upon 2y is equal to 1 by 5. Find the time taken by car 1. The time taken by car 1 to reach P from A is x upon 2y. X upon 2y is coming out to 1 by 5 in terms of hours. In terms of minutes, it will be 1 by 5 into 60, which will be 12 minutes, and that becomes the answer. Overall, I'd say at best a moderate level of question, but should be able to solve this question about 2 odd minutes because we just have to find the ratio of x and y, not values for x and y per se, because it's just one equation. So 2 minutes, moderate level of difficulty could be looked at in the exam. Another way of looking at this question could be proportionality, where we say, suppose car A takes x minutes to reach P, A to P, right? Now the distance from B to P is 3 times. So if nothing else changes, the time will become 3x minutes from B to P. Also, the speed of the car is half. Therefore, the time will double again. Therefore, car 2 will take 3x into 2, 6x minutes to go from B to P. It is given that 6x minus x is equal to 1 hour or 60 minutes. And therefore, 5x is equal to 60, x is equal to 12. This could also have been an approach to solve the question. One can use 3 different transports which move at 10, 20, and 30 kilometers respectively to reach from A to B. Amal took each mode of transport uh, 1/3 of his total journey time, while Bimal took each mode of transport for 1/3 of his total distance. By what percentage? The percentage Bimal's travel time exceeds Amal's travel time is. Okay. Amal took journey. So suppose Amal traveled for 3 hours. Therefore, 1 hour he will travel at 10 kilometers per hour. 1 hour he will travel at 20 kilometers per hour. 1 hour because 1/3 of his journey time at each of them. So 1 hour at 30 kilometers per hour. So distance covered total will be 10 into 1 10, 20 into 1 20, 30 into 1 30, which is 60 kilometers. This becomes the distance between A and B. distance between A and B. To reach from A and B, Amal did this. What did Bimal do? Bimal divided 1/3 of the total distance, that is 60. 20, 20, and 20. First 20 he traveled at 10 kilometers per hour, next 20 he traveled at 20 kilometers per hour, last 20 he traveled at 30 kilometers per hour. So time taken will be 1 hour, sorry, 2 hours, here 1 hour, and here 2/3 of an hour. So total 3 2/3 hours, which can be written as 11/3 hours. The question says the percentage by which Bimal's time exceeds Amal's travel time. 11/3 greater than 3. So the difference here will be 2/3. Hence, the percentage increase is Bimal is 2/3 hours more than 3 hours. So 2/3 upon 3 into 100, which becomes 2/9 into 100, which will be approximately 22.22% or 22.22% because 1/9 is 11.11. So 2/9 becomes 22.22. So from the options nearest to 22%. I'd say even this question would be an easy to moderate question. You just have to assume either the distance or the time. The only thing to be remembered is distance between A and B is same, so that will be same for Amal and Bimal. And from there, just work with the numbers and solve rather than taking a variable. 2 minutes should be good enough time to solve this question. Two identical trains A and B running in opposite directions at the same speed take 2 minutes to cross each other. Two identical trains A and B running in opposite direction at the same speed take 2 minutes to cross each other. Suppose the length of the trains are L and L, we can say that 2L upon 2S is equal to 2 minutes. Distance upon speed is 2 minutes or 2/60 hours. Let us put that. The number of bogies of both trains are increased from 12 to 16 each. How much more time would be required to cross the trains? So instead of L, what we can do is suppose every bogie is 1 meter long. Initially, the length of the trains was 12 meters and 12 meters. And therefore, we can say that distance to be covered to cross each other will be sum of length of the two trains, therefore 24 meters. The relative speed will become S plus S because they're going in opposite direction, 2S meters per second. And therefore, 24 distance upon 2S was given as 2 minutes or 2 into 60, 120 seconds. So from here we can say 24 upon 2S is equal to 120 or 2S is equal to distance upon speed meters per second. 24 by 120, which is 1/5 meters per second. 2S. Now the distance increases from 12 to 16 each. So the distance now is 32, which is being covered at the same speed, distance upon 2S, which is 1/5, and therefore time taken will be 150, 160 seconds as opposed to 120 seconds. So what is the, how much more time would be required to cross in seconds? 40 seconds extra will be required. Another way of looking at this could be the length increases by 33%. Basically, an increase of 4 on a base of 12, so 1/3 increase. So time will also increase by the same amount. 120 will increase by 1/3, so 40-second increase. This also could have been done directly if you don't want to get into assuming values and solving. But overall, let's say, again, easy to moderate question, 90 seconds should be good enough to get this question done. So if you look at the overall test, as I said initially, overall moderate because there were 3 or 4 questions that could have gotten stuck, but the questions that were doable were not taking too much time, and therefore the overall attempt time was lesser or less than 20 minutes. The question that I would have chosen for those 7 questions would be 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 9, and 10. Which are these questions? This I think was eminently doable. Basic application of circular motion would have done this. I would have done this as well because again have done a similar question many times before. So not difficult to solve per se. Escalators, again, if you're very comfortable, only then attempt it, otherwise can be left. This is a basic reduction proportionality, would have attempted it. Basic application of trains, the concept was very easy, would have attempted it. Could have taken a call on this question because there is relative speed involved. Nice. Again, this question, if it strikes quickly. If it does not, then it can be a problem. So if I have to choose or say whether it was this level of difficulty with respect to the other question that I had, I would say the level of difficulty for this was higher. This, I think, was a very basic question, basic proportionality, and we could have done the question. This again, just assume values and solve, would have been attempted in the exam. Also, this was a proportionality question, therefore would have attempted it. Mostly because the attempt time is very low. If the moment you realize that the increase is just 1/3, you get the answer directly. And therefore, my attempt in this paper would be 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10.